I was busy watching movies again yesterday. I don't know why I watch so many movies. And sometimes I feel irritated because I'm seeing this movie yesterday with Brad Pitt. Now, he's a nice looking fellow, and a lot of girls, for him, for a lot of girls, he's a big turn on. So, and yeah, he's beautiful and everything physically, but okay, not really my type, right? but but the point was, it was the storyline that was driving me crazy. The story is a guy who's born old and dies young. Okay, and I was that DVD wasn't set up very well, so I couldn't change the scene. I couldn't look for the scene. Otherwise, I would have looked to be sure. But it looks to me like it maybe was a story by F. Scott Fitzgerald or something. Then I was thinking about it. I thought, okay, according to my principle, the thing that I've been talking about here in these last few weeks and days is that life imitates art, art imitates life, all that sort of stuff. And movies are a reflection of the collective consciousness, what's going on. And then I thought, okay, being born ancient, right, as an ancient person. He's like he's born, he's a little baby, and he exhibits all the signs of an old man, arthritis, and his skin is not very elastic, and all of this stuff that people have when they're old. So then throughout the movie he's getting younger, but of course it's very strange because as an old man he still has to grow up. So it's really strange, medically speaking, totally impossible. But it's the idea of coming into the world burdened with the past, and the body, the physical body here being the metaphor for all of the coatings of the soul. And so he's getting younger as the film progresses, until he's going back until to be a very small child, and then a baby, and then he just dies. So, but what is it that happens in yoga when a person takes to the path of yoga is that we have come embodied in so many births, and then we've traveled the path of expansion, meaning we're moving into more and more fullness of life. But also this fullness of life brings with it a lot of baggage, memories, impressions that are stored up in what we call the vital. So all of these sort of impressions have to be somehow taken care of, released, or disposed of, in order for a person to fully complete the cycle. The cycle just means circle, right? So there's a path of expansion into the material universe, and that's interesting because the man in this movie, Benjamin Buttons, he's born as an old man, so he has all of these coatings, he has all of this crustiness, all of this hardness, all of this that has made him harder, and more gross, more physical, more dense. And as the movie progresses, he becomes lighter, younger, softer. So it's a metaphor for yoga for me. So now everything I see, I'm going to relate to this yoga, Bhagavad Gita, spiritual enlightenment, if you want to call it that. I don't think that, you see, enlightenment is another one of those words that's been completely misunderstood, completely abused. Think about it as just getting lighter and lighter and lighter, as in lighter in weight, lighter, as in less darkness, lighter as in, floating on matter. So that's for me is enlightenment, floating, okay? So that was the one movie that I thought, okay, well that's not super profound, but certainly it is a metaphor, and if F. Scott Fitzgerald actually did write it, that explains why, es hinkt, as they say in German. It's a limping metaphor. That's in German they say something limps. In other words, it's not a beautiful metaphor. It's not really very smooth and gracious, but it is a metaphor for what's going on in the world. So they made the movie, and that's cool. And it was a star vehicle for Kate Winslet, I think, and good old Brad Pitt, beautiful Brad. So yeah, and then I saw another movie. That was a little bit boring. Sorry about that, but it is interesting because this is a process in yoga, completing the circle, expansion, and then that moving back towards the source on the other side of the circle, which you might call contraction, but you might also call it just, or think of it as when you're moving outwards, you're gathering all of this material, and then moving back towards the source, you're discarding a lot of material. So it is important to talk about this. I was just thinking, oh gosh, wasting these people's time. So, but it's important because some people are losing things, and they feel like they're losing things, but actually what's happening is they've come to the point of turning and going back the other way in the cycle of life, and they're just discarding a lot of things that are actually ballast on the return journey. Okay? So, like, the moon, once the Apollo 13, Houston, we have a problem, They get to the moon, and they don't land on the moon because of the problem, but let's say they did, even if they did. That moon vehicle, they're going to leave it on the moon. In other words, it's not going to bring it back on the return journey. So there's some things that you need them on the way out, but you don't need them on the way back. On the way back, it would be a burden, ballast. So some people are moving in the cycle and coming around and moving on the next step. You see, it's a cycle. It's going round and round and round. So it may be lasting hundreds of births or thousands of embodiments, but so in the conscious surface mind, the mental being cannot see what's going on, but the soul knows very well what's going on. So some people feel afraid because they're losing things, like they don't have a job, or they don't have their family, they had to leave, or they've lost their houses or something, or they're losing their minds, or they feel disoriented, extremely disoriented in the world today. But not to be afraid, because everything's under control, and that's what I came to tell you, because I went through that, and believe me, it was really painful not to understand what's going on. But now that I know this is what's happening, then I can relax and enjoy the trip. Okay, so you can start to relax as soon as you know, oh, this is normal. Oh, okay, so this is what's happening. Okay, so that I'm here to tell you that's what's going on. Okay, then the other movie I wanted to talk about. 10 minutes. We have to cut this, then we'll make the next one.